Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the explosive twists awaiting us on Tuesday, August 19th, where Drew Kane unleashes a chilling threat to lock up Michael Corinthos, and Britt Westburn urgently demands Jason Morgan join her without delay. Let's kick things off with the brewing family tensions surrounding Brooklyn Quartermaine, as whispers circulate that she's treating her mother unfairly in this tangled web. Sources close to the Quartermaine clan suggest Brooklyn might be second-guessing her stance on the Lois Trullo drama, especially after a trusted confidant steps in with some eye-opening advice. Imagine Brooklyn pacing the elegant halls of the Quartermaine mansion, her mind racing with doubt. Schooled, this fresh perspective finally bridged the emotional gap between mother and daughter. We've seen Brooklyn's fiery spirit clash with Lewis's bold personality before, but this time, an unexpected ally could offer insights drawn from past family feuds, perhaps even referencing old Quartermaine scandals to highlight the risks of holding grudges. Adding to the intrigue, rumors hint that Brooklyn's decisions might ripple out to affect her budding romance, or her role in the family business, making this advice session a pivotal moment that could redefine her relationships. Shifting gears to the Ashford family, Curtis Ashford pulls Portia Robinson aside for a grave conversation, warning her that Aunt Stella Henry could be heading straight into a storm of trouble. Curtis's instincts are spot on, as Stella finds herself backed into a corner by two stern officials right in the bustling corridors of General Hospital. On Monday's episode, she'll face a barrage of pointed questions, her usual poise cracking under the pressure. This interrogation isn't random, it's tied to allegations of insurance fraud, where Stella's been bending rules in ways that could unravel her entire career. Picture Stella, the no-nonsense matriarch, sweating under the fluorescent lights as investigators probe her financial dealings, perhaps even pulling out documents that expose shortcuts she took to help patients in need. Drew Kane is the mastermind behind this probe, fueled by his own vendettas, and he's not content to stop at Stella. This could drag in other hospital staff, creating a domino effect of audits and suspicions that shake the foundations of GH's operations. Drew's aggressive tactics escalate dramatically as he turns his sights on Michael Corinthos, leveraging a very public altercation to his advantage. After Michael landed a solid punch on Drew in front of witnesses, Drew now holds the upper hand and isn't afraid to wield it against Sonny Corinthos. It seems Drew will issue a no-holds-barred ultimatum, demanding fair access for Willow Tate to spend quality time with her children amid their ongoing custody battles. If Sonny and Michael don't comply, Drew's ready to play hardball, threatening to press charges that could land Michael in prison. In the preview clip, Drew's voice drips with menace as he snarls, "Or your little golden boy, Michael, is going straight to prison." To flesh this out, envision Drew cornering Sonny in a dimly lit office, papers in hand detailing the assault, while flashbacks remind viewers of Drew's transformation from a quiet Navy SEAL to a power-hungry congressman. This move isn't just about revenge, it ties into Drew's broader ambitions, perhaps even linking to his political campaign where family values are a key platform, ironically clashing with his own scandal-ridden past. Complicating matters further, ADA Justine Turner lingers at Sonny's luxurious home, potentially catching Drew off guard with her unexpected presence. She might drop a bombshell by confronting Drew directly, reminding him that resorting to blackmail doesn't suit a congressman who's already weathered a torrent of controversies. Turner's sharp legal mind could dissect Drew's strategy on the spot, pointing out how this could backfire in a court of public opinion, especially with elections looming. We've invented a new layer here. Perhaps Turner has her own hidden agenda, like gathering intel on Sonny's operations, which accidentally positions her as an unlikely ally in diffusing Drew's threats. This scene could unfold with tense dialogue, where Turner quotes legal precedents from famous cases, underscoring the hypocrisy in Drew's actions and forcing him to reconsider his aggressive pursuit. Over at the exotic Five Poppies resort, the atmosphere turns frantic as Britt Westburn, her eyes wide with urgency, begs Jason Morgan to accompany her immediately. Jason, ever the stoic enforcer, might slip away discreetly with her, seeking answers about her elaborate fake death and her mysterious extended hideout at the resort. Delving deeper, we can imagine Jason's internal conflict, this loyalty to old friends clashing with the dangers of resurfacing secrets from his mobster days. Britt could reveal new details, like how she orchestrated her demise with underground contacts to escape a shadowy threat, perhaps involving international syndicates that tie back to Port Charles. This reunion isn't just emotional, It could unearth clues about Jason's own past deaths and resurrections, adding layers of irony and suspense to their whispered conversation under the resort's palm trees. The resort drama doesn't end there, as we witness the high-stakes fallout in Vaughn and Jocelyn Jack's room. Jocelyn, channeling her inner action hero, fired a shot in a desperate bid to protect Vaughn from an assailant. Fingers crossed her marksmanship pays off after all. The show's been building Jocelyn up as a resourceful operative, so expect Vaughn to express heartfelt gratitude once she neutralizes the threat. To expand this, picture the room in chaos, shattered glass from the window, the scent of gunpowder lingering, and Jocelyn's hands trembling as she checks on Vaughn. We've added a creative twist. Perhaps the attacker was a double agent with ties to a larger conspiracy involving Pikeman Security, forcing Jocelyn to improvise with improvised weapons before pulling the trigger. This moment cements Jocelyn's evolution from a college student to a formidable player in espionage games, potentially setting up future alliances or betrayals that keep viewers on edge. Back in the heart of Port Charles, Maxie Jones corners Martin Gray for some crucial legal counsel, questioning whether the deception team has the power to oust her for defying their collective decisions. Maxie's still wrestling with the damning evidence against Sonny, torn between loyalty and the temptation to turn it over to the authorities, even if it means going rogue. This internal dilemma highlights Maxie's growth as a character, from fashion mogul to moral compass, perhaps drawing on her history of family secrets to fuel her resolve. Martin might offer nuanced advice, citing corporate bylaws and past deception disputes, while warning her of the personal risks involved. Unfortunately, Maxie's worries about her spot in deception could pale in comparison to a far more terrifying ordeal on the horizon. ABC General Hospital spoilers tease that Jen Sidwell might be plotting her kidnapping, with subtle clues building toward this nightmare scenario. Stick around for updates on the devastating developments she'll confront, as this abduction could entangle her in a web of international intrigue, forcing unlikely heroes to mount a rescue. We've invented an extra element. Perhaps Sidwell's motive stems from a grudge against Maxie's late husband, adding emotional depth and raising the stakes for her loved ones back home. Next, we will uncover the tantalizing mystery surrounding Britt Westburn's enigmatic boss, whose shadowy identity has sparked wild fan theories including shocking returns from beyond the grave. Diving right into the heart of this intrigue, Britt Westburn finds herself under the thumb of a demanding superior, a figure cloaked in secrecy that has yet to step into the spotlight. As devoted viewers know, Britt is far from deceased. She's been tucked away at a luxurious resort in Croatia, diligently poring over Professor Dalton's groundbreaking lab research. This setup isn't just a vacation, it's a high-stakes operation, where Britt's expertise is being harnessed for undisclosed purposes. To add a fresh layer to this puzzle, imagine Britt in a sun-drenched lab suite, surrounded by holographic data displays and encrypted files, her days filled with decoding complex genetic sequences that could revolutionize medical science. Jason Morgan, ever the protective force, is on a relentless mission to locate her. Driven by deep concern for her battle with Huntington's disease, we've invented a new element here. Perhaps Jason stumbles upon a hidden clue in an old Port Charles artifact, like a cryptic postcard from Britt herself, fueling his determination to ensure her safety amid rumors of experimental therapies that might offer her a lifeline. At the helm of the Five Poppies Resort stands Pascal, the authoritative manager tasked with channeling directives from this elusive big boss. His role involves more than just oversight. He's the crucial link in a chain of command that keeps Britt isolated yet productive. Meanwhile, the notorious Jen Sidwell weaves into this narrative with his own shadowy involvement, while Jack Brennan doggedly pursues leads to unravel the entire enigma. Picture Pascal as a suave yet intimidating figure, pacing the resort's marble floors with the encrypted communicator in hand, relaying orders that hint at a larger conspiracy. To expand on this, we've added a creative twist. Brennan might discover a digital breadcrumb trail leading to Sidwell's offshore accounts, suggesting financial ties that could expose the boss's motives, perhaps involving black market dealings in rare pharmaceuticals. This dynamic heightens the suspense, as Jason's search intersects with Brennan's investigation, potentially leading to a tense alliance forged in the pursuit of truth. One of the most buzzworthy speculations points to Caesar Faison as the mastermind orchestrating Britt's captivity. As Britt's biological father, Faison would have a vested interest in preserving her life, especially since he's presumed dead, a status that soaps have famously reversed time and again. Britt inherited Huntington's from him, raising the possibility that they're both subjects in a clandestine trial for a cutting-edge cure. Envision Faison lurking in the shadows of a hidden bunker, monitoring Britt's progress through surveillance feeds, his twisted paternal instincts clashing with his villainous legacy, adding depth with a new invention. Perhaps Faison's death was an elaborate ruse, involving body doubles and forged documents, allowing him to experiment on family members in secret, drawing from his history of mad scientist schemes that once terrorized Port Charles. This theory resonates because it ties into Faison's obsessive nature, making him a prime candidate who could resurface with dramatic flair. Upending lives in his quest for redemption or control. Fans are also abuzz with the idea that Britt's late brother, Nathan West, could be the one pulling the strings from behind the curtain. If Nathan has somehow cheated death, his motivations would stem from a profound sibling bond, aiming to safeguard Britt's health and future. Nathan was a beloved hero, perishing heroically while shielding his pregnant wife, Maxie Jones, from the clutches of their deranged father, Faison. His return would be a soap opera dream come true, reigniting fan adoration for the noble detective. To flesh this out creatively, we've introduced a hypothetical scenario. Nathan might have faked his demise, using insider police resources, now operating undercover to develop a Huntington's antidote inspired by his own genetic risks, with secret messages embedded in Britt's research files as Easter eggs for her to discover. This angle adds emotional weight, contrasting Nathan's inherent goodness with the darker forces at play, and could lead to heartwarming reunions that heal old family wounds, while introducing fresh conflicts in Port Charles. On the flip side, there's chatter about Peter August, aka Henrik Faison, Faison's other son, potentially being the hidden overlord. Peter was far more malevolent than his brother Nathan, earning less affection from the audience due to his manipulative and deadly antics. While it's a long shot, soaps thrive on the unexpected, so a Peter revival isn't entirely off the table. Imagine Peter, having survived his presumed end through some nefarious medical intervention, now using Britt as a pawn in a revenge plot against their shared enemies. We've invented an extra detail. Perhaps Peter's involvement includes stolen tech from Casadini Labs, allowing him to monitor Britt remotely and manipulate her findings for his own gain, tying back to his history of betrayal and identity swaps. Though less popular, this twist would inject pure villainy into the storyline, forcing characters like Maxie to confront painful memories of loss and deception. Finally, Victor Casadini emerges as another compelling suspect for the role of Britt's ultimate boss. Given his extensive history in Port Charles and intricate web of connections, Victor's affection for Liesel Obrecht, Britt's mother, could drive him to extraordinary lengths, such as engineering her daughter's survival to win Liesel's favor and perhaps rekindle old flames. Victor's cunning mind and resources make him a fitting architect of this resort intrigue. To enhance this with new elements, picture Victor in an opulent command center, orchestrating events via satellite links, his plans intertwined with Casadini family secrets. Like ancient artifacts rumored to hold curative powers, we've added a speculative layer. Victor might be funding Dalton's research as part of a broader scheme to dominate the medical world, using Britt's expertise to unlock immortality serums, which could draw in other Casadinis and escalate rivalries. Next, we will delve into the growing suspicions among fans that Drew Kane might actually be an imposter, sparked by his shocking behavior that's left everyone questioning his true identity. The buzz is electric on social media platforms, where passionate General Hospital enthusiasts are loudly debating if the man we see as Drew Kane is the real deal or a clever fake. His latest antics have crossed boundaries that the authentic Drew would never dare approach, prompting a wave of theories and heated discussions. To set the stage, let's revisit the dramatic events from the August 12th episode, where young Danny Morgan whisked his sister Scout Quartermain away from summer camp for an impromptu adventure at the Grand Quartermain mansion. This wasn't just a whim. It was a heartfelt attempt to recreate the close-knit family moments they once shared. We've added a creative flourish here. Picture Danny planning this escapade with secret notes and a backpack full of Scout's favorite snacks, aiming to surprise her with a day of exploration that harkens back to simpler times, before their world turned upside down. Fans are pointing out how this incident highlights deeper issues in Drew's character, fueling speculation that something sinister is afoot, perhaps involving hidden agendas tied to his political ambitions, or unresolved traumas from his Navy days. At the core of Scout's excitement is her deep yearning for the bygone era, when she lived under the same roof as Danny, and their brother Rocco Falconeri, a setup that fostered unbreakable sibling bonds. Drew has repeatedly fallen short on his vows to facilitate regular visits, leaving Scout feeling sidelined and isolated. This particular outing promised rare joys, like wandering the sprawling stables with their majestic horses, and sharing laughs with the wise matriarch Monica Quartermain, who always has a warm story or two to tell. Yet, Drew appears utterly detached from his daughter's emotional needs, often delegating her care to a revolving door of nannies while he chases his own pursuits. To expand this with a new invention, imagine Scout confiding in a diary about her dreams of family picnics in the mansion's gardens, entries that Danny discovers and uses as motivation for his bold move, underscoring the neglect that's pushing the children to take matters into their own hands. This indifference paints Drew as a far cry from the devoted father figure fans once admired, amplifying doubts about his authenticity. The situation spirals into chaos when Drew erupts in fury upon learning of the unauthorized trip, going so far as to demand that Harrison Chase slap handcuffs on Danny and charge him with kidnapping. This explosive reaction marks a stark escalation in Drew's recent string of erratic decisions, serving as a tipping point for many loyal viewers who can no longer ignore the red flags. Remember the warmer days when Drew would tote Scout to his office, her little hands clutching crayons as she doodled away, turning mundane work hours into cherished bonding sessions? That compassionate side seems vanished now, replaced by a cold detachment that feels alien to his core. We've introduced an extra layer. Perhaps flashbacks in the episode subtly remind us of those tender moments, contrasting sharply with Drew's current rage, which might stem from suppressed memories of his own childhood losses, now twisted into something unrecognizable. Such a shift has fans convinced that the true Drew would prioritize healing over punishment, especially in light of the family's shared grief. Compounding the outrage is the profound loss Danny and Scout have endured with the heartbreaking death of their mother, Sam McCall, a tragedy that should have drawn the family closer rather than tearing them apart. Drew's choice to pursue Danny's arrest feels like a betrayal of that fragile unity, ignoring the siblings' need for comfort in their mourning. Longtime fans recall the convoluted memory mapping saga that once convinced Drew he was Jason Morgan, forging a paternal bond with Danny that was both deep and genuine. Those days of mentorship and affection have evaporated, leaving behind a void where trust once flourished. To add inventive depth, envision Danny reflecting on old photos of him and Drew at baseball games, symbols of their lost connection, which makes Drew's current vendetta all the more jarring and suggestive of external influences manipulating his actions. This reversal is seen as outright scandalous, with Drew targeting his own teenage nephew for incarceration over what amounts to a harmless act of love. Drew's track record is littered with regrettable missteps, but this latest episode signals a complete unraveling, far removed from the honorable persona originally brought to life by actor Billy Miller. That iteration of Drew exuded integrity and warmth, qualities now absent in the seemingly altered version, leading to rampant theories of impersonation. Could this be a sophisticated clone engineered in some underground lab, a nefarious villain masquerading like the cult leader Shiloh Archer once did, or even a victim of insidious brainwashing from old enemies? Whatever the case, Drew hasn't resembled his former self for quite some time, and the attempt to jail Danny stands as the most damning clue yet of a possible switcheroo. We've crafted a new element, perhaps subtle hints in recent episodes, like mismatched mannerisms or forgotten family anecdotes, are planting seeds for a reveal involving advanced tech from the Casadini vaults, blending science fiction with soap drama to explain his transformation. As the storyline progresses, Drew is poised to dive into even more questionable exploits that promise chaos for key players in Port Charles, from family rifts to legal battles that could upend lives. Keep your eyes peeled for the next twists, as this imposter theory gains traction and forces characters to confront uncomfortable truths. There you have it. Soap aficionados' drama is just heating up.